Well, I finally did it. I beat the Lunar Remastered collection. Well, I beat Lunar 1. I didn't beat Lunar 2 yet. I'm not sure if I want to jump right into that, but it's the first time I've played and finished Lunar 1. Well, played not really. I used to play the PSP version a little bit. I tried to emulate the Sega CD version, but this PlayStation 1 version, which the remastered is based on, this is the first time I've ever laid hands on it. And the game is quite a bit old now. So the original Luna came out on the Sega CD, then the PlayStation 1. So let's hear my opinion on this old school RPG. The game is finished. That means I want to light a candle, commemorate this moment. Shine, little candle. I loaded a random save here from earlier in the game just to show you some gameplay. The number one thing I like about this, that it's a short game. I beat it in around 20 hours. Sure, I had to reload a save here or there. So in the end, maybe it was around 25. But the number one best improvement they did is the battle speed. You can see the battle speed up there. You can do it 3 times speed, which makes a lot of sense because Luna has an auto battle system. And I have to complain a little bit. The game is really easy. I basically beat the entire game by using the auto battle function, timer, battle speed to 3. And the game, in the combat at least, basically played itself. So you may or may not like that. It reminds me a little bit of Final Fantasy XII, where you just pick your strategy and then the game plays itself. I really like that one, like building the party in Final Fantasy XII. One of my favorite aspects of any RPG. And since this is a really easy game, a really short game, I understand why people over the years called it the comfort food RPG. I can really see this. It's a nice story, it's not too complicated. The games are easy, or the battles are easy. You don't really have to think about it. There's no complex leveling system. Everything basically happens on autopilot in this game. You may or may not enjoy that. I have a mosquito in the room. I don't know if you see it. I'll try to kill it over the course of the video. So you may or may not like it. Let me kill this mosquito. It's driving me crazy. Come on, die. I think I got it. No, it's over there. Oh, so let's just hope it doesn't bite me. So you may or may not like that. Every now and then I like to have a simple short RPG. Short RPGs are always my thing, but having it simple and easy, basically, as you see, it's playing itself. I really like complex battle systems as well, but for like a little comfort game like this, very pleasant to play through. You can see the battles are not random. You can see them in the overworld, which, as far as I know, was a change from the Sega CD to the PlayStation 1 version. Talking about the difficulty of the game, I've since learned that the original Western working designs released actually tweaked the difficulty of the game. So they decrease the amount of experience you get, I think. They increase the amount of HP enemies and bosses have to overall make the game a bit longer and more challenging. It doesn't seem like that worked too well, just made it more grindy from what I've seen and heard. But hey, what can you do? This version is based on the Japanese version. It also got a new translation, and none of the working designs changes made it into this version. So if you liked some of the improvements they did, sucks to be you, they are not in this version. Some of the battles early on, some of the earlier bosses are very challenging. However, if you level up a little bit, it doesn't take a lot of time because you have 3 times battle speed and the game plays itself. You shouldn't have a problem playing through this game. It's very simple, no complex actions. You just power up your melee guys and then knock the boss down. Really, there's not much to say about the battle system in this game. Some of the changes they did, as I already said, they took out any of the working designs changes that they did. The voice acting is also completely new. Some of the fans didn't agree with that. They wanted the original voice acting. I have no connection to the original voice acting, so for me it wasn't a big problem while playing. I liked some of the voice cast, especially what is it, Galleon, the main bad guy in the game. He's voiced by the same actor who voices Hawkmoth from Miraculous Ladybug, so I instantly recognized him from that. Some of the casting, I think most of the characters are pretty fine. However, Alex over here, our main character, his voice a little bit too deep. He sounds too adult. He's supposed to be like 14, 15 years old, I think. His voice is too deep in a lot of the animated cutscenes and in the voice acting. Not a big fan of that. When it comes to the music, Luna has always been praised for its amazing soundtrack, and man, how far we have come. Playing through this game, there are not a gigantic amount of tracks to listen to. It's quite repetitive, like this music here. I'm not sure how well you can hear that, but that's basically the dungeon music for every dungeon. So the tracks are fine, the tracks are great. They are not orchestrated or anything. They're like synthesized music. But they're fine. Like, we have come so far when it comes to music. I understand Luna was gigantic in impact when it came out on the Sega CD. The PS1 version, like by the time that came out in I think like 99 or 2000, at least in the West, I think the Saturn remake, the original, came out in 96, which would have been cutting edge at the time. However, by the time this came out on the PS1, it was already outdated. And nowadays, like, don't expect to get your mind blown by the music, the story, the graphics, or any of that. It's good. Like, I feel bad, like, talking bad about the Luna soundtrack, one of the most beloved aspects of this game. However, I just think it's quite alright. Some good tracks in there. But I think I was just expecting too much. I've heard praise of Luna, I've heard praise of especially the soundtrack for many, many years. It just didn't live up to my expectations of it, especially knowing, and I'll get into this later, Game Art's next big series, the Grandia series, which had an amazing soundtrack, like start to finish. Like, this really pales in comparison to that. But I'll talk a little bit about Grandia later on, because there is a connection here. I played the German localization, by the way, all the way through. And this is the first time I turned on the English one. It's just that my Switch Lite is set to German. And I said, yeah, all right then. So I played it all in German. And the translation was all right. I didn't have a big problem with it. I have my own background in translating and localizing things. And I wasn't unhappy with it. A few typos here or there, a few grammatical errors. Also things like sometimes the line breaks weren't in the right order, so the text went out of the text box. Little glitches, little bugs like that. No big problem. Nothing game ruining. Sometimes text boxes were skipped, like they automatically skipped it as soon as it appeared. So little problems there. I'm sure they can fix that in a little patch, and even if they don't, not the end of the world. Otherwise, when it comes to the story of the game, it is quite charming. I like the characters, even though it's very unbalanced in the sense of like the entire party. Like there are some stinkers in the party lineup when it comes to the battle system and their abilities. Otherwise, story-wise, they all fit together very nice. It's your traditional, like, gather the four elements and destroy the big evil story. It's nothing new, nothing complex, but it works. If you're a fan of the earlier Final Fantasy games, this may be the game for you as well. Otherwise, what is there to say? I want to talk a little bit about the connection to Grandia, because Grandia is one of my all-time favorite game series. However, we here in Europe, we never had the chance to check out Luna. I think we got the PSP remake, but that's it. Like Luna 2 never made its way over here. And me being a big fan of Grandia and Grandia 2, I was quite excited to check out the origin of Game Art's RPG lineup. And I wasn't disappointed at all. It's basically what I expected. You have to keep in mind, like, this is a Sega CD version, a 16-bit RPG, beefed up a little bit for the 32-bit era, like polished in terms of graphics and music and cutscenes and voice acting and all of that. But at its heart, it's still a 16-bit RPG. You may like that, you may not like that. I can totally see this being mind-blowing on the Sega CD. Like, if I had played this in the early 90s when I was just born, but, you know, in that social context and historical context, I can totally see, like, not being able to go back to Super Nintendo RPGs after playing Luna. And I can totally understand the praise the game has gotten over the years and the nostalgia a lot of people feel for it. I have a similar feeling towards Grandia, and especially Grandia 2, and like especially the battle system, which is a very clear precursor to the Grandia battle system. Otherwise as well, the story of a girl, of a boy and a girl like going on adventures. I can see a lot of Grandia in this game, which makes sense. You know, they after Luna was done, they took Luna, brought it to the next level, and made Grandia. Would I recommend playing this over Grandia? Definitely not. So far, I have this remastered collection. I don't have the Grandia remastered collection, but when it comes to the games alone, I would say if you have to pick between one of the two, pick Grandia. Grandia is just so much better than this. But if you're then curious about checking out this game, I mean, go for it. Why not? This is out everywhere now. Like, the game is even on sale. It's not a limited print or anything. It's easy to... I'm talking about Europe here. Like, the European release is easy to get. Not a problem at all. I had to decide, because they released at basically the same time, I had to decide between getting the Lunar Remastered collection and the Suikoden remakes. What I really like, as we can see here, they kept the pixelated backgrounds. This is basically a straight port of the Saturn and PlayStation 1 games, whereas Suikoden was completely redrawn. All the backgrounds are very shiny, very clean, but they kept the pixelated characters, making them look quite out of place. Luna, I think, just does it perfectly in keeping the style, keeping the pixelation. Yeah, am I happy that I chose this over Suikoden? Definitely. Like, I don't know any better. I've never played Suikoden because that's also high on my list. And now that I've played Luna 1, I may actually pick up Suikoden and play Suikoden 1 before jumping into Luna 2. I've heard that Luna 2 is just longer, better in every way. People say they don't like aspects about the battle system. I'm not sure why exactly. I haven't looked into it too much. However, like, the battle system wasn't a problem because it autoplayed in this one. If it's the same one for Grandia 2, like, I'm just excited for Luna 2. I'm just excited to check out a bigger, better, beefed up version of Luna 2, which apparently takes place after Luna 1, so it's important to play the first one first. Anyway, have you played Luna? Are you excited about Luna? Have you played the original, the remake, Sega CD, PSP, or this remastered collection? What can you tell me about Luna 2? Is it worth it? Like, I know people are not fans of it. Other people say it's bigger, better in every way. I'm excited to make my own opinion. Thank you very much for watching. And I hope I see you again when I just beat the next game or so. Or maybe I play Luna 2. I'm not so sure what's next. See you in the next video. Bye.